All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Abiodun Mustafa, and it's that time where we hold Growth School. I hope you're ready, you're prepared, you're set for a lot of the wisdom that will be shared tonight, and you're really prepared for a lot of the amazing things that you will be learning tonight. Welcome to the year. So it's our first Growth School for 2024, and we'll be having this as a series. It's going to be a three-part series, and then we'll be having a guest on the last Friday of this this month. Okay, so today we're talking about the life of options. So I want to be sure that you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, just go to the comment and let me see you type jollof, 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 jollof. So it appears someone is making me love another variety of rice now, which is fried, not just jollof. All right, interesting. So thank you so much. Welcome. Please do well to share the link with your friends, invite them to come join. Oh, wow, amazing. Princess Chioma Augustine, Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Nice to see you again. And thank you so much for the exceptional things you do. All right, so today we'll be talking about life of options. And while I took time off growth school, so I decided, throughout the month of January, that I would just be doing a lot of things on, personal development, trying to build some sort of energy, and then trying to strategize for the year on various areas and aspects of life. So January, I just had this pump around life of options, and there were a lot of diverse things that were coming in terms of how I needed to reflect the aspect of the life of options. And it's very possible that maybe last year you were in the number of people were so eager about this year. You were so eager about, the year will be great, things are going to change, things will be better. And you made a lot of the declaration, you made a lot of the things that were said. But right now you're shocked about the fact that there are a lot of the things you said that don't seem to be coming true. Sorry, hold on a sec. I just want to change put it there, life of options. Life of options. Please do well to invite your friends. Let them come learn from the wisdom. Life of options. Life of options. All right, so let me put. All right, so life of options. So it's very possible that, towards the end of last year, you were so pumped up about the fact that, 2024 will be great. It will be a fantastic year. It's my year. It's my year of this. It's my year of that. It's my year. But right now, you're not looking into the year. January already, you've seen a lot of events play, and you're like, is 2024 actually my year of this? Do you still have that optimism that definitely the year is going to be this and that for you based on a lot of declaration you have? Now, it's very possible that right now you doubt every of those declarations because you seem not to have created structures that created options for you. Until you're able to create a life that makes options available, it's very easy to be discouraged, it's very easy to be disappointed, it's very easy to be disempowered because you don't see a lot of your expectation come into reality. So this comes to understanding why the life of options becomes very, very critical. So how do you create a life of option? So we're talking about a lot of things about this and that. Now, I want you to really know that regardless of how you feel, you must never make yourself to be how you feel. You must never make yourself to be or to act based on how you feel, because your feeling is temporary. Your feeling is temporary. It's like, oh, today you feel cold, tomorrow you feel hot, oh, next tomorrow you feel like, oh, you don't feel so excited, oh, in another time you say, oh, you feel really pumped up and excited, oh, you feel like you can achieve this, oh, you feel like you can rule the world. At another time you feel like you are not. So you are really not your feeling. Therefore, never choose to dim your light because of how you feel. Never choose to dim your light because of how you feel. You see people who feel in a certain way, and because they feel in a certain way, they decide that they are not going to shine their light. Most times, you must come to that understanding. You must always remember, you must never forget at any time that at your lowest moment may be the time when your greatest breakthrough will come. I'll say that again. Your lowest moment may be the season when your breakthrough will come. And this is why you must not reflect and you must not act by the way you feel, because your feelings are temporary. Okay? Your feelings are temporary. In the point of the intense and gross darkness, that's when your light begins to gain prominence. That's when your light becomes relevant. Light does not become relevant at the point when there are lots of lights. Your light becomes relevant when you come into intense darkness. And that's why a lot of people go to certain places. For example, they attend maybe conferences, they attend, for instance, events, they attend certain things, they go to certain places, and eventually when they go to those places, they assume that instantly some things should begin to happen. No, the actualization and effect of the light you have gotten is not going to operate in that meeting. It's not going to operate in that gathering. It's not going to be seen just by attending an event, attending a place, going to a place, doing certain things. It should be reflected when there are situations that will demand for the things you have learned. And this is something that is important, that you must understand the role of wisdom in your life. You must understand the role of wisdom in your life. You must understand the role of wisdom in your life. So the role of wisdom in your life is that it becomes evident. It becomes the light that shines in darkness, and then darkness cannot comprehend it. So the relevance of consistent light is revealed in the place of darkness. Is revealed in the place of darkness. All right, now I'm going to share a story with you, and I will tell you why this is very important, why you need to bear this to mind. There was an instance, there was this event that took place in the Bible where, if you are very conversant with the Bible, I think it happened in First Samuel. I think it's First Samuel 30 or so. I can't remember clearly now. It happened in the book of First Samuel. There was this moment in the life of David when David was living in a particular part. I think it's Gath now. I'm not too sure. And then he went with his men to go fight another city. He went with his men to go fight another country. And after they went to fight that journey, they never created structure of security for their families, for their children, for their wives. And then they went, they conquered. In fact, they were victorious at that battle. They did so well. They conquered and did all of that. But the time they returned back to their abode, they found out their wives, their children, their flocks have been taken away, and they have become captives to the army of the Amalek, okay, to the Amalekites. And David got to that point. Imagine a whole David, the great and mighty David who killed Goliath, who did a lot of things. He got to a point of discouragement. David became so discouraged to the point that, when you get to a point whereby you just felt like, oh, but I want to fight, I want to do this. And I was anointed by God. I had all of this. He had all of those revelations. And it got to a point of disappointment. So David became disappointed. He became discouraged to the point that he needed an extra, he needed a force from within based on what has been deposited inside of him to encourage him. Listen, they didn't say David took encouragement from somewhere else. They said David encouraged himself in the Lord. That's what the Bible says. David encouraged himself in the Lord. That's to tell you that the relevance of your light would be the relevance of your light will only show in the moment of uncertainty. We only show in the moment when you least expect it. Will show in the point of your darkness. Will show in the point of your discouragement. Will show in the point where you least imagine. So never believe that the wisdom you gather at certain instances are not relevant. Their relevance will show at the point of challenges. And eventually, David encouraged himself in the Lord, and then he took all the other armies. And then when they began talking, when they began speaking, some of them decided to go. They pursued, they overtook, they got to the place, saw the entire army. They were rejoicing that, oh, they've gathered all of this. And David and his men strategized through the help of an helpless soldier who was abandoned by the master. And then they got back all that was taken away from them. There are a lot of things you felt that you have lost, but they would only come based on what you know and what you have imbibed inside yourself. And that's how you begin to decide that there is possibility in the future. There is possibility in the future is not just a point where you just believe that, oh, it's possible, and then you shout, and then you talk, and then you do all those things. It's possible based on the things that you choose to know. So knowledge is powerful. You will become empowered, you become great, you become successful based on the understanding, based on wisdom that you have imbibed and you have taken in. Okay, based on the wisdom that you have taken in. Okay, so your point of serious confusion, your point of serious doubt or serious situation, and the things that are happening around you and the way you choose to react to it is reflecting your state of wisdom and your state of understanding at that certain time. Okay, so this is something you must take note. Okay, so you must realize that that moment can happen to anyone. That moment can happen to anyone. And that's not to discourage you or to make you faint-hearted. It's to make you think about creating structures and strategies that would help you overcome those dark moments. All right. So you may be feeling regrets. You may be feeling regrets because of the things you felt you lost. Yet, in that state, will your encouragement come? Just like that encouragement came for David. In the moment of your discouragement, that's when an encouragement would come, and you must discern that moment to be able to rise up to take back what belongs to you. Now, what are three things that you must pay attention to this year? See, I've not even touched the topic at all. These are just preambles. What are three things? And I categorize these three things into the word OBA. That's Oba. If you're Yoruba, Oba is like when you say someone is a king, when you call someone a king. Okay, it's the word the Southwesterners in Nigeria use for kings. When they say, oh, Oba this, maybe Oba Elegushi of this, Oba of this of Ekiti, Oba this of Abeokuta, Oba this of, Ota. They just use the word Oba. Now, you must decide that in 2024, you want to be a king. You want to be an Oba. Okay. Now, what is known with Obas is that their Obas are those who have authority. Now, for example, I remember this is a very funny story. I remember that I was invited, I was booked to MC a wedding reception somewhere in Ibadan. And the person the couples who were getting married, they were my friends. Okay, the husband and the wife, they're doing so well now. They were my friends. And for certain reason, I needed to recognize the presence of those who were the royal people. We had like two of them, and I think one of them came with a wife who is a queen. And at that event, I went to them, oh, sir, what's your name? You know, the road. It didn't occur to me that I needed to rehearse the proper pronunciation of what was written. Like I needed to ask him, oh, sir, what did you write here? Though because of how the event was and everything, I should have just met the groom and say, oh, this man wrote this. What's the correct thing and all of that? I just felt, oh, he wrote something, I would say it. When it was time to recognize them, the first person, I pronounced it well, I recognized why, but the second person, I was reading what I said, but the man was shaking. I was saying this man was not standing up. This king was not standing up. And it was looking embarrassing at the point, like, oh, so I thought this was what he said. And they were trying to cry. I was not hearing very well. I was saying what I was saying and all of that. Okay, the king eventually just said all of that. And when I was about saying that, I said, see, do you know, if you want to enter a land and you want to enter a place and you want to buy land, and if you don't want trouble, make sure that these are people that you need to meet. Of course, there are places in Nigeria where if you want to get a land, you don't just get from someone, especially if it's not an estate where the estate agents or those who own those who bought the property in scale, who want to build an estate land. If they have not met with the king and done all the last thing, if you just want to buy it, firstly, you need to meet the royal fathers, the kings, or the ballets. They are people they call the ballets and all that. So they are authoritarians. They understand possession. Okay, if the ballet of a land says, oh, that land, even if you bought it from somebody, you have all the documents. You know, there are places where if you don't see them and they don't give you the verdict that, okay, yes, that place is yours, forget it. Anything can happen. You cannot be at rest in that place. So, you know, Obas are powerful. Kings everywhere are powerful. We have emirs for those in the northern side of Nigeria. We have different names given to kings. So Obas are like kings. So you must live like a king. Okay, you know, there's a part of scripture that says you are priest and king unto the Lord. So Oba. Now, if you really want to understand how to live and what you should do in 2024 in order for it to be productive, for it to be resourceful, for you to achieve lots of results, the O in Oba is that you must choose to be optimistic. Okay, there are a lot of things, there are certain news that would come to you, and if you act based on the news, you will lose out quickly and you will not be able to operate at the premium level of destiny. You will not be able to operate at the level of destiny. You must make up your mind that you will be optimistic. There are a lot of things you have tried in the past. There are a lot of things you have anticipated in the past. There are a lot of things you have prayed about in the past. And this year, despite everything that you would hear and will be said, is the year when they will come into actualization. But if the actualization does not meet you in a state of optimism, you would lose the blessings. Get that? You would lose the blessings. I know when other people preach it, they'll say you need to have faith. I'm simply saying you have to be optimistic. You have to have the sense of possibility, and then you must not permit doubt to take place in your life. So you must be an Oba. You must be optimistic. Now, there was no assurance. Listen, there was no scientific assurance that David had that was going to defeat Goliath. There was no scientific assurance that he had that he was going to defeat Goliath. There was no assurance that Joseph had that if he wakes up tomorrow, he was going to become a prime minister, or he would be invited to the palace to be a prime minister. There was no assurance. All these men did was that they chose to be optimistic on a daily basis. So when you wake up on a daily basis and you want to take a kingship status over your day and over your territory, you need to be optimistic. Kings don't go to fight battles when they know they are going to be defeated. Every king that sets out and call their warriors that they have to go and fight, they have a belief in them that they are going to win. They have a belief. The moment they have that optimism that they are going to win that battle, they set out. They may now go to that battle and become defeated, but at least they have a positive mindset that they are going to do what? they are going to win. They are going to defeat the enemy. They are going to possess the territory. They are going to do amazing things. Listen, don't go out every day of this year believing everything that you hear. Instead, build a kingdom within yourself that enables possibility and positivity on a daily basis. So, you choose to be optimistic. You choose to be optimistic. You choose to be optimistic. Now, B is that you decide in 2024 that you are going to build. You decide in 2024 that you are going to build. Now, what are you building? You decide you are going to build yourself. You are going to build your life. You are going to build your courage. You are going to build yourself. You are going to come to a point where you build your own identity. And you decide that this is what you want to represent in 2024. Have you ever thought it? Has there been any time in any of the year where you sat down and say, in 2024, this is what would be my identity? This is what people would know me as. This is what I will be building myself to be. But the problem is a lot of people come out on a daily basis and they become victims of circumstances. Why? Because they have no assurance of who they are. What exactly are you building in 2024? Who exactly are you building yourself to become in 2024? Or you allow the world, you allow the year give you an identity without building an identity for yourself. So there are people who come out and then they wait for a reality show. They wait for an event to be created. When people sat down and created a system to fulfill their own agenda, and then you decide that all you want to be is to be a fan of that show, be a fan of this, be a follower of that. What exactly are you building yourself to become? What will be represented in your identity? Have you seen people who put people's name and they put IAN to it? Maybe you have the names. I'm not mentioning any. Say, oh, you are a okay, you are a something XYZ Ian. Is that what you want to become? Is that what will represent your identity? The world will only respect what you choose to become, what you choose to represent. So you have no expectation of honor, you have no expectation of a blessing, you have no expectation to attract anything great because you lack an identity that you should represent. Because you lack an identity that you need to represent. So what exactly would you represent in 2024? You need to sit down and begin to bring yourself into that questioning. Your blessing is connected to what you choose to identify with. Your blessing is connected to what you choose to be identified by. Your blessing is connected to what identity you communicate to your world. Do you come out and say, oh, you are just hustling? You know, there are people who come and then they put themselves in the hustle status. They say they are just hustling. Okay, you say, oh, you're just hustling. So this year you just talk about hustle. You wake up in the morning, you say you're going about today's hustle. You say, oh, you're pursuing that. Is that what your identity will be identified by? So you keep yourself in a beggarly condition without thinking of the contribution that you can make to your immediate community. So what do you identify yourself to be? You go out, are you saying you're going out on a daily basis? I'm saying I'm going out today not as a beggar, I'm going out to add value because I'm the salt of the earth. Or you see, I'm going out today because I'm going to lighten the hearts of people and they will be blessed by the things I say. They'll be transformed by the things I put across. They will buy what I sell because I'm so valuable. What value are you communicating to your world? So you need to build yourself. Number two, in 2024, you may need to also build products. You may need to start building product. I was so delighted when someone reached out to me and was like, oh, I want to write a book this year. Okay, I think she read my book and I'm like, oh, I want to write a book this year. Oh, can you coach and guide me? No, I just connected that to someone who I knew. He's a consultant that can do that. And that conversation is happening. And she's delighted. Build a product. Listen, there will be blessings that will come when you build a product so excellently, you market it so well, and then you build structures in place that would get it out there. Some of you must decide this year that you are not going to go about begging for money. You need to build a product. What exactly do you know that the world needs? What exactly do you have that the world will pay you for? What exactly does the world need today that they need to give you money for? So you build your person, you build a product. You build your person, you build a product. To build a product this year, you've learned a lot of things. You paid for many masters classes, some on WhatsApp, some on YouTube, some on Zoom. You paid for a lot of them. When do you want to start using them, and when do you want to start building a product? So you need to build a product. 2024, all those things that you have said, I will do, I will do, I will do. Go back and visit those goals. A lot of you don't need new goals. You need to go visit the goals you have written and you did nothing about them. You need to build a product. Build a product. Build a product. Make up your mind that this year, what product will be attached to your name? It could be an online course, it could be a book, it could be a business, it could even be a business. It could be that you need to build a business. Some of you need to rebuild your businesses. So maybe in the past you are already running a business. You need to sit down this year and say, oh, what do I need to add to this business? What excellent touch do I need to include to this business to make it attract people that can pay me more? The problem is you are arguing with the people that are paying you little, and that's why they always keep pricing you low. Maybe you need to you need to build an exclusive part of that product that will make those who will pay you more, who are willing to pay premium, and you build some sort of exclusivity in that particular product that will make them come for you. As part of that building process, you may need to go to where they are. You may need to visit them in the places where they are. Build a product. Some of you, your product may be that you need to launch a particular service. You need to launch a particular training. Some of you may even need to start by building a particular aspect of your product. Maybe you were doing training before. Now you're in Lagos. Maybe you now need to start maybe a Saturday training, or maybe you need to connect with a particular institution, maybe a religious institution, a cooperative society, and then you tell them, oh, every Saturday we'll be doing this, or once every 2 weeks we'll be doing this, and for everyone that comes they'll be paying this amount. You're already building a product. You're building a product. Make up your mind this year that you are not going to be beggarly, that you will be so valuable that people will demand you for the things that you have to offer. That people will demand you for the things you have to offer. Some of you, the products you have built, maybe they are no longer relevant to the environment that you are in. You then need to convert an aspect of that product to meet the environment that you belong to. Is someone getting value? So, O, you need to be optimistic. B, you need to build your person, build a product, and also build your profile. Build your profile. Build your profile. Maybe you probably need to go visit your LinkedIn profile and then start doing certain things. Start checking up certain things. Start checking up certain things. Just clean it up. Make it more. Oh, nice to see this woman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Finally, you made it. Ajayi Feoluwa Rachel, amazing, my amazing sister. Thanks for the amazing things you do. Thanks for joining. Yes, I will go out. I will take my product to them. Yes, so don't be saying, my product, they are my product is good though. Let them come. Let them come. They will come for my product because my product is good. You will sit down there. This year, you must make up your mind that you want to be resilient. You want to go all out and ensure that they find your product valuable. This year, get to that point whereby people will be dreaming. People will be like, they'll be sleeping, and all that will be in their dream because of what you have done is that they must get that product, and they will not rest until they get it. So you must go all out. So build your person, build your product, and build your profile. Now, the A part, this A part is where some people are guilty. Some people can be optimistic, all those prophetic words. This year, I will make it. My life will change. There will be a difference. And you'll be repeating after them in church. And then you just got one idea. Go and do this thing. Go and speak to this person. Call this person concerning this thing. Do this thing. That's where some people will not take action. Hey. Your blessings are the end of your fear, my sister. Your blessings are at the end of your fear. Your blessings are at the end of your fear. You see, the moment where you take a bridge over that fear, you will see the amazing blessings that are there for you. There's this saying, even if I'll still talk about this later, there's this saying, and I realized that statement to be true. You are not aware that your fear fears you. Your fear is afraid of you, but you would not know except to take action. So, action, act, act positively. Take actions in the directions of your goals, in the directions of your vision, in the directions of your destiny. Your fear fears you. Your fear fears you. Have you ever imagined? I don't know if this has happened to you. Like when, for example, you went to an event and you saw the line of guest speakers, and you saw like these people, you had their profile, you're like get this one, build this one, CEO, founder, the person has traveled here, the person has been here, the person has done that, the person has won lots of awards, and you're listening to that for like, this person big oh. And in your mind something is saying, oh, you need this person to mentor you, or you need this person to help you, you need this person to leverage on something, or something is telling you, oh, you have a gift that will help this person communicate to that person, and you're not like, hey, all these big people, I hope their protocol will not do this, I hope this one. And the moment, listen up, the moment you shut that voice, and after the event, you just walk up to that person and you just introduce yourself and you spoke so nicely, you pitched very well. And the person is now interested in you. The person is now so talking nicely. And the person is like, oh, that's amazing. That's good. You're not like, wait, oh, is this the person I thought that if I go, the person will just lambast me and feel like, who is talking? I said there's a blessing at the end of your fear. There are lots of great and amazing people you should have connected to in the past, but because you retained the voice of your fear, that's why you lost those connections. That's why you lost them. The moment you are able to confront your fear and silence it, like every time a voice comes to you and say, oh, you can't do that thing, you will see that thing as a small child and as something that immediately you tried to say that thing, you just gave it a knock and you kept quiet. Take action straight. Take action straight. I can't begin to tell you instances where I'll just be around and something will say, oh, reach out to that person, or send a message to this person, oh, or call this person, or talk to the person about these things. And immediately I take those actions, I'll see result, I'll see result, I'll see result. You know how many things, the people are waiting that, oh, God will speak, there'll be one mighty voice, there'll be something that'll be mysterious that the person will just say, and then when you hear that mysterious voice, you just do it. No, sometimes your greatest blessing is in a still small voice. That if you are courageous enough to act on it, that's the end of the story. Your testimony will come. Like the way the testimony will come, it will even amaze you. So you must come to that realization that your fear fears you. And the moment you can confront those situations and go for them, your life changes tremendously. All right. Did you get value from that preamble? Now, on the life of options, and let me just give you a brief. Now, I found out that for a lot of people, and I think I wrote this on my Facebook profile when I was trying to talk about this session. For a lot of people, or for a lot of you watching me, listening to me right now, you found out that there was a time you started something, like you started something great. Maybe it's a business, or maybe you started an initiative, or maybe you started a movement, or maybe something happened. And because that is the only thing you felt was going to cause a breakthrough, there was an event that just sprung up. Maybe an event like, for some people, it's still COVID that people have gone over like 30 years now. Immediately COVID came, some people just went down like nothing else. They could not scale to that great level of profit again, maximal increase, maximal improvement, maximal possibility, because an event just altered something they've kept their entire life on. For some people, it was the fact that They said, "Oh, I'm trying all these things." So maybe for some people, "Oh, I want to travel abroad, and I must get this degree abroad." And they were pursuing, putting a lot of money, paying for programs, paying for consultants, paying agents, and doing all of those things. And the moment they structured and put everything into those things, and those things did not work, it was as if everything went down, and there was no other plan. There was no other plan. It was like immediately this click, then they will succeed. Immediately this click, then they will move. Immediately this click, and then they will, because they did not understand how to live a life of options. The moment you understand how to live the life of options, you wouldn't, you'll be shocked at why you would not have anything called a downtime. Why? Because there's always something to fall back to. Election took place in Nigeria, I think last year. Yeah, last year, 2023. And a lot of people just kept their mind that, oh, these three candidates, okay, this one will enter. Someone just said, this is the person that will win. This one, I know is going to win. With everything that is happening, with all the followers that were gathering, with everything that was coming, this one will win. And then they fix and put their plan on that person winning, believing and hoping that immediately that person enters, their story will change. That, oh, their business will be good. Oh, money will move in the economy. Oh, things are going to this. And immediately it happened that that person didn't enter. They enter problem. Why? Because they didn't understand how to live a life of options. And the truth that you must come to your, something that must come to your genuine understanding that you must not forget is that the wealthy, okay, that there's somebody used to say there's a school of the rich, there's a school of the poor, which is true. Whether you agree or not, it's true. Right from the time that man began to expand and grow, that there was always that separation. Upper class, lower class, rich, poor. These days, there's a school of the rich, there's a school of the poor. Just like John Obidi teaches, and I've understood and seen that psychology to be very, very true. Listen, the rich all understand, the rich understand, and they have been schooled. They also teach their children the same, never to live by one option. Never to live by one option. But for many of us who did not have the early schooling of the rich because of certain situations and where we were born, we're usually taught that all you needed to do is go to school, and sometimes you see parents that will invest a lot to ensure that, oh, you go to school, they'll pay for your schooling. And even sometimes when they cannot meet up, they challenge you to work your way through into schooling, which is fantastic. Schooling is good. Listen, let no one deceive you. If you are in the university and you're listening to this, make sure you make up your mind that you will do well and finish very well. Whatever you have to do legitimately that would make you finish out of school, please finish out of school. If you're in a program and you have to finish maybe your master's or PhD, try your very best to ensure that you finish. Because at the end of the day, education can be a leveler when you need to step into certain opportunities. So they teach their children, so the poor will teach their children that, oh, go to school, then when you finish, apply for a job, anticipating that school would instantly give you employment. Listen, this is something very important. That immediately you finish, the poor will tell their children, immediately you finish, oh, apply for a job. When you apply here, you get a job. And it got to a time in the nation where having a certificate was not enough to get certain jobs. Okay, because if you went to, for example, a public school, and you anticipated that you should have graduated maybe at 24, because a lot of people were hiring that, oh, they work in the bank, and by 24, by their own calculation, they would have finished school. But something happened, as so happened. You see why a life of option is very, very important. As so happened. And when as so happened, maybe they now had their 2 years to 23 or 24, and they graduated at around 26. So the banking job that seemed to be paying a little high, they could no longer step into it. Why? Because as so happened. Okay? Or let's even say they went to a private school and they finished at the right time. And while they were trying to apply, thinking that the certificate will give them the job, nothing happened. So what were they going to do? What were they going to do? No job, Anticipation dashed, there was no other option. See, the life of options is very, very important. You must make up your mind. See, this teaching that I'm starting right now, we'll do part two next week. I'm not sure we'll finish today. You must make up your mind that you understand how to live a life of options. You are able to position strategically in a way whereby, irrespective of what happens in the environment, irrespective of the situation or circumstances that take place, you are still able to live your life in destiny. You are still able to fulfill destiny. You are still able to fulfill the will of God. You are still able to fulfill purpose. You are still able to actualize your life without feeling that you were cheated, or without feeling that you are disadvantaged. Never keep yourself in a point of disadvantage. All you have to do is understand how to live a life of option. And this is why you would realize today that having a skill outside what you learned in school is part of positioning. I wish someone would understand this very well. Having a skill outside your course of study in school is strategic positioning to create options. To create options. Now, how do you create a life of option? Number one, and some of the things I'll be sharing are things you may hardly hear, and maybe you didn't even expect that, oh, talking about life of options, you'll hear some of these things. Number one is character. Number one is character. Number one is character. I lecture in a university in Nigeria, and part of the things I've tried that I try to do whenever I communicate what I teach in class computing is that I always find a way to connect the reality of the outside world to the things that students learn in school. Like I could share certain things about them, or certain stories, certain ideas, certain phenomenon. And because of the way certain youths behave, you will see them believe that, oh, they know, oh, these are this. And because I teach in a private school, you know that there's a percentage of the students who are in such institutions who are from wealthy homes. Okay, so there's this belief that, oh, I know things are sorted, and there's a carriage that you would always see that makes them believe that, oh, everything is sorted, all will be fine, oh, this and this and this, and some are just like, oh, these people, they don't know what life is about. And then I communicate certain things about life, and part of what I've always communicated is the importance of character, because there's a point in life where, irrespective of how much you have, you will not be able to solve your problem. Irrespective of how much you have, you will not be able to solve your problem. For example, I once watched a video of a very wealthy man. I think for certain reason he lost his wife. He had a gate man and he had a chef. So they wanted to teach him a lesson because he was very arrogant. He treated the househelp wrongly. He had a very poor character. Maybe he was born from a family where everything was done for him, and they treated people anyhow. He didn't realize that, oh, these people, they are also very important. So that man would speak to the househelp rudely, act to the gate man rudely. So they planned for him. So they now had a plan that the chef was going to prepare a meal, and while he took part of that meal, they'll tell him that, how are you sure that food is not poison? And then the gate man also planned with certain guys that, oh, they were going to allow certain guys come and they were going to stage a robbery. So that happened. The lady prepared the meal, the man ate, it was speaking while he was trying to eat, he was speaking to the guy. And later, are you sure that food is not poisoned? The man's mind was just, you said what? And he started trying to vomit and all of that. I was doing all of that. While that was happening, some guys just came in as though they wanted to stage a robbery, and they staged a robbery, and the man said, why do you allow them enter? Why did it? And then they now taught the man the lesson that, do you know those people you treat anyhow? Like, you speak to them anyhow, you do all of this. Do you know your life is in their hands? Because if they want, they can allow evil happen to you. And this is more reason why you must treat people rightly. See, Never believe that the world is in the border of the family you are from. The world is a small village. And the way you behave, the way you act to people, your reputation in the minds of people, the perception people have about you may be crucial for you in the times of need. Oh my God, may be crucial in the times of need. For example, I met a friend. His name is Amzat Oluwaseun. He's currently one of the amazing guys, the partnership manager for Kibo School. Kibo School is a global school that offers tech related skills and all of that. And they are doing so well. The guys coming out of there are fantastic. Okay. We met as friends during my master's program when I was studying my master's computer science in Funa in Abeokuta. And we just met as very good friends. Sometimes we'll talk or react, we'll talk, we'll engage. Like once in a while, when I go to the hostel, I'll just check up on him, oh, how you doing, and all of that. And eventually, when we finished, Amzad got invited to speak at a tech event. I think Ogun Tech Summit. Yeah, I think it was Ogun Tech Summit. And I saw the flyer, I was so excited. Oh, this guy is doing well and all of that. Attended the event and I communicated some sort of ideas to him. And Amzat spoke to his boss about me. Oh, there's this guy, he said all of that. And I got invited for an interview in the organization without submitting a CV. All I needed to do was just talk, communicate my ideas, and then see the founder then saw that, oh, what this guy is communicating connected to our vision and mission. And I got hired and got into that organization. Now, this is the lesson. Imagine if I felt because I know book, like I sabi book, and I felt that, oh, because I was brilliant, oh, I was doing well, I was having A's, I was doing all of that, I just saw every other person as irrelevant. Amzat would not have been the connection to my getting my first job after my master's. The same way, after master's, I started PhD, and after a couple of time, I got referred by a professor who was in my university in Funab, who had sabbatical in another private university, who asked me, he just called me that day and said, oh, you've been interested in taking up this, and this. Oh, why not? And all of that. And in about 1 week, I think I submitted my CV. They had the interview not too long. In about 1 week, I got called to come and start a work in that organization. Now, what am I saying? If I was a bad boy, I was rude to the professor, I felt like, oh, all these old men, what are they saying? What's all of that? They don't know what's happening. Just like some people behave today, like, oh, you're Gen Z. Never let your Gen Z make you wallow in the valley of foolishness. Because if you don't embrace wisdom with your Gen Z, you will go down without knowing. You will go down so quickly without knowing. That's a truth. That's a true fact. If you believe, oh, because you're young, energetic, and imagine if I was believing, oh, Gen Z, let me just do this, and I was just acting to professors, and I was acting as though I had the whole world, I would never have gotten the referral or recommendation for those opportunities. Listen, character is very, very important. The Bible says a good name is better than silver and gold. A good name is better than silver and gold. There are people who walk up into places and you just want to prove to people that, oh, you're a boss, you're this, you're all of that. In school, some people do it. And for some people have had the privilege to converse with, I said, don't think that the perception people have about you is not important. Because some of the people who have the perception about you, even when you change later and they have an opportunity to give to you, they will keep seeing you as a perception they have kept in their mind. You must ensure that you're a person of character. You must ensure that you're a person of character. All right. All right. All right. So I wrote this down here that when you have an endless desire for more to the point of doing anything to get it, you are poor. People used to think poverty is when you don't have things or when you don't have certain resources. No. Poverty is when you have an endless desire for anything and you are willing to do anything, whether good or bad, to get it. But when you're a person of character, you are not driven by your desire for things. You are driven by your status in destiny. You are driven by your status in destiny. So there are premium opportunities that will come to you because of your attitude, because of you're a person of character. Now, look at this. Who are the people that have engaged with you? Who are the people that have met you that can speak about you in your absence? Who are those kinds of people? Who are people that have seen you? Like, for example, there are people who, I know people who have even told me that, oh, for my wedding, I don't know how far their wedding. Oh, for my wedding, I'm going to invite you to do this. Why? Because they have seen me do it, not just my competence, they have seen my character, they have seen the way I honor people, they have seen the way, there are people who you invite to maybe speak for your event or to do something for you, and already you begin to see their kind of attitude and character, and they just say, no, after this one's no other way. And by doing that, because of your character, you are shrinking the opportunities that should come to you. Instead of expanding your borders of opportunities so that your options will be more, you are shrinking them because of character. People can open the door for you because of competence, but they will retain you because of character. There are people who, there's an event now that holds annually. I've been invited to come speak like 3 times now. Why? Because I don't go there to prove that, oh, this guy is this guy is that. No, I still coordinate myself. You listen to people. There is the excellence, there's the competence, there's the effect, there's the impact, and then they also see the character. Oh, he's concerned. Oh, he's this. So he didn't come to show that he has PhD. He didn't come to show that he has this. He didn't come to do that. How do you act? You see people who are older than you invite you to do things for them, maybe to speak or to coordinate, and you go there and act arrogantly, they won't call you again. And when you begin to shut the doors of opportunities, you will live in penury. You would end up in poverty. And that's why they said a character. I remember that a point, Peladro Toye shared this story of how I think he needed to get a training consulting service, okay, like an opportunity for an organization. I think it's a bank or something. And when he got there, the person had Juro Toye. And the man was so amazed. I'm like, which Juro Toye are you? Is it the Juro Toye? I think his father was a teacher or something, or maybe a lecturer. I'm not sure now. And the man like, really? And he said the man carried him. I'm like, oh, Juro Toye. And he began speaking about his father. He told Bella Juro Toye about the things his father did for him when he was in school, how the father was so caring, the father was this and all of that. And the man decided that because of what the father did, can you imagine? Reputation, character, a good name, father did for him, he was going to give Bella Juro Toye a contract. And Peladro Toye got the contract, delivered amazingly, and did all of that. That's opportunity opening because of character. The moment you do things thinking about you alone, then you are not transgenerational in your thinking. A good name. Can people remember your name? Can your children take your name and gain access to certain places? How can you expand the opportunities? How can you expand the opportunities? How can you expand the opportunities? Character is very, very important. Okay. Now, before students in my school, before they started examination, I just needed to give a parting statement to the first students who came after. After I did that, we did a lot of positive affirmation for examination, what they needed to say to themselves daily, and all of that. It was really fun and amazing. And something I said was that the experience is more important than the journey. The experience is more important than the journey. And what am I saying? What I was bringing to their notice is that the experience people have of you is more important than what you achieve. Because at the end of the day, your achievement may be short-lived if people do not have the right perception about you. So that's why I said the experience is more important than the journey. Now begin to reflect on your life. Maybe now you're working, you've graduated, or you're doing a lot of things. What experience do people have of you when they meet you? You see why some people don't have a lot of opportunity. You see, it does not matter how some people pray and pray and pray and pray and fast and fast and fast and do a lot of spiritual things. I'm still here. Rapture has not happened. Okay, so it's fine. Sorry for that break. Now, it does not matter. What was I saying? Now, I said a lot of spiritual activities, and people will say, oh, it's something from the village. Just think about it. Maybe the reason why your options are few and the reason why you don't get expanded opportunities in your life is because of the experience that you have created in the minds of people whenever you meet them. Whenever you meet them, what experience do you create with people, with those you meet, with those you interact with, whenever you meet them? Because the experience people have from you is what will make them want to help you, want to recommend things to you, want to refer you for opportunities, want to ask you whether you can be part of a contract, whether there's something that can be given to you. What experience do you create in the hearts of people? So character is vital if you want to create a life of option. So stop making your needs control your journey to destiny. Stop making your needs control your journeys to destiny. You see people who, oh, you met a great person. The person said, sir, I need money. Sir, urgent 2K. Sir, help me. Sir, help me. Sir, this one. Like, this year, let it stop. Be valuable. Be patient and be strategic. I'll say it again. Be valuable to great people you meet. Be patient and be strategic. And be strategic. Can you meet a great person and the person wants to meet you again? Can you meet a great person and be patient, not to talk about your needs? Grow strong relationship to the point that the moment when you ask, they don't want to say no. Why? Because you have been patient, you have been valuable to them, and you were strategic in the way you carry out things. But you see people, you meet somebody, you are just driven by your needs, driven by your need. You want to ask. Be patient. There's more to it. You can expand your options. You can expand the opportunities. If only you can be patient, you can be strategic, and you can be valuable. So what people say about you after meeting you can be the access to an opportunity. What people say about you and say concerning their experiences when they meet you can be your access to opportunities. All right. So even if I have like 7, I wrote down 7 here. So I think we just take the rest to next week. I hope you got value. I hope it was worth your time. I hope it was worth your time. Please do well to drop comments, do well to share, and I will drop the replay. You can do well to watch the replay after now. Till I come your way again, always live phenomenal and never forget this. I have this quote that I think you should hold on to. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Watch out for part 2. So part 2, we'll be talking about how to, let me see, life of options part 2. We'll be looking at positioning for your next level of progress. Okay, same time next week. Make it a day, invite your friends, tell people, share this replay, subscribe if you have not, and keep doing phenomenal things. The only person you are destined to be is the person you decide to be. Cheers. See you next week.